All right, here we are. Okay, welcome everybody to our July training, and thought it would be good to kind of piggyback on last month and getting people started and kind of going over getting to district. Patty did a great job with that. Kind of, the activities. So we really, in terms of just making it, just being really efficient, like maximizing the events that we have, and I was kind of thinking about it, like, and so it's going to be, this will primarily cover some host coaching, group events, and taking care of preferred clients, just giving them really good customer service. And so I was kind of thinking about it, like, why do that? Like, why would we do that? And when you think about it, like, it kind of the analogy, I'm an analogy gal, but kind of how it pops into my head is like, okay, so if materials for building are going to be the same amount regardless of where you build, why wouldn't you want to be in a place that has a better return on investment, right? So I think about that with this. Like, it's going to be the same amount of effort to schedule something. It's going to be the same amount of effort to pack up our stuff and get ready and go over and, present and do that. And so why wouldn't we want to make sure or do our best in prepping that to be a really successful event? And that means, how many people are going to be there? How many bookings do we get out of it? Product sales that come out of it, people interested in the business, and like, how can we just really dial in? Because I think sometimes, for me anyway, especially in the beginning, when I got that event on the calendar, I was like, yes, I have an event on the calendar. But that really doesn't mean anything unless you really nurture it. Like, okay, there's the seed, the seed's there, it's planted. Now I need to nurture that to have it grow into, this thing that's harvestable or whatever. And so, cause I hear myself included, it can be frustrating. And this isn't by any means going to be like, oh, you'll always have, 8 people at every group and nothing will cancel and you'll always have whatever. But just that idea of like, what are some things we can do that can just help it be more effective, more efficient, and less frustrating? Because I think we've all had those moments where we've gone to an event and there've been one person there or 2 people there, or, no sales. And that's going to happen anyway, but just, these are some, kind of some like things that I've learned along the way, things I've listened to. This is going to be a total casserole of all those different different ways that I've learned over the years, and what's been effective and what hasn't been in terms of maximizing. It's really just me maximizing, our events and maximizing those our awesome preferred clients. So yeah, like, what if we had more people book from events? Just think about that. What would that do for us? And what if we had more people at the events that we showed up to present at? And the people who became clients and preferred clients, what if they were really solid reordering? Like, what if all of our preferred clients were really solid reordering preferred clients? How much more leveraged would our business be? So that's really the idea. And for us to really be professionals, be professionals at each of those things. There are definitely tips from the top on that. And the folks who do lots and lots and lots of parties or events, like, there's all kinds of verbiage, all kinds of things out there on how to maximize them. So host coaching. So when you do, once you book that event, really partner with that host, and if they're not a preferred client and they're not on our skincare or they're not on our nutrition, get them those things, at the very minimum, getting them the things that we are going to be using at that event. And so doing the core presentation, if I've got someone who's new, and wanting to host, or maybe they haven't tried the new skincare yet, I will drop off an RE9 bag, an RE9 kit with a protein sample and basically our reach out method. So the protein, a fizz stick, and maybe throw in like a little hand cream or something like that, and just have them be able to use that for a few days before the event. If it's someone who, and I'll get into kind of wrap this up then too. If it's someone who booked from an event and they're wondering, like, should I wait until I have my event to order, or should I order something now? Or even if they're like, oh, I'm just going to wait to order some, I really love the skincare, but I'm going to wait to order that till I have my event. Really encourage them to, if they're not, able to do the whole ASVP, have them at least, become a preferred client and get into some of the skincare, because, and really, I mean, this has been so effective, having them, letting them know, people, when you invite them, are going to be like, well, what is it? Well, why should I come? What do you like about it? And for you to be able to say, oh my gosh, I've been using, the cleanser and the day cream and the serum for, the last week, and I can just really tell a difference. It's going to really help them have more success at their event. And so I would highly encourage them, and then you can say, I would start with this, and then we can fill in the rest of this with your rewards at your event. But people are really going to be asking you what you're doing, and you're just going to be talking about it. It's going to be on your mind because you're using it. So it's just going to be more in your consciousness that this is something you are going to be having people, come over to share and to hear about. And so it's just going to be more front and center for you. So definitely encourage people when they are booking from an event to get into some product so that they're able to speak to it before the event. So hostess coaching, getting them on board, getting them those products, right away, or like about no more or no sooner than like, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Like say they're hosting on a Saturday, I would for sure like get them by like Wednesday or something, and have them use it, for a few days before the event. Have it, so they've got, a few nights that they've tried the RE9, and so and just really make sure they've got that, and then talking to them about like who are you inviting, and encourage them to invite from various groups, because I know some people are like, oh, I'm gonna invite all of my church friends, or I'm gonna invite my mom's group, and it's like, how about you maybe let's get a mixed group, because what's going to happen then is you're going to get, if someone decides to host off of that, they might look around the room and go, oh my gosh, it'd be all you guys again, and this way, when you have different people from different groups, you're going to then open up a whole new network, and it might be more encouraging for the person at the event to book, because the people that they'd invite aren't sitting right there and didn't just hear it. And so encouraging them to really cast a wide net. I know we do that anyway, but I think there's quantity of people. And then there's also kind of encouraging them to think about like different groups that you can invite, like maybe some of your neighbors, and maybe some of your church friends, and some of your work friends, and just getting a good mixture of people is really great. And then I think also this is something that a friend of mine, she's a host that she's hosting for me in the next few weeks. And she said, oh my God, she was really excited about it. She was like, you know what? She's like, I did this in inviting people. And she said, I got a much better turnout with this. She said, I called people or texted them individually. And I would encourage that anyway. I mean, I think you can send out the nature of our invites, having them be, email and texting. It's really easy to get them to a group of people at once. But I would absolutely have that, encourage them to have that individual reach out to know that, just so that they know that you really care if they're there or not. But anyway, so she said that she called or texted and said, are you available August 16th? And if they would say, then they would get, well, gosh, I'm out of town, or yeah, I think so. What's going on? And then from there, she would be able to like, I would love to treat you to a glass of wine and some pampering with my friend Lisa and her amazing Arbonne products. And so then it would be kind of like you're getting like like an in the moment, like a yes, no, but you're kind of knowing, and there may be a little bit more like, oh, I agree. Not like we're like, oh, it's so tough to come to one of our events, but just that idea of like, it's just maybe a little bit more information if they're available, and then on that date. So she said it was just really great. She had a great turnout. So anything you're able to pass along, and then too, if there are people who have, type in any comments if there are other things, and I can certainly share that if there are things that you found to be effective in terms of really having those numbers there when you're there, because like I said, you're going to do all the same amount of prep and to be able to maximize it is great. And so also encouraging your hosts or encouraging their guests to bring a guest is really great. What I've done in the past with that is I put it on the invitation. I put it on the bottom and say, bring a guest, and you'll both be gifted, both receive a gift. And some of the things I've done for that, made it super simple, is just I found it to be fun to have a variety of samples. Like maybe I'll bring like some mascara samples and some Gillette samples, and some of our popular ones, maybe a hand lotion sample, and I'll just have those like sitting like in a bowl or just like in their boxes. And then I'll have like cute little like cellophane bags, and just if they bring a friend, like both them and their guests, I'll say choose two samples. Choose two and put it in your bag, and we'll put a cute ribbon on it. And how fun is that? Try sample a couple of things that aren't in now what we're using that night. So that's been great too. Just because how many times have we heard an audio where it was like, the person who's training is like an ENVP or whatever. They're like, my friend dragged me along to their an Arbonne event. And so you never know, it might be the actual person who was invited. It might be their friend who comes along, So I think just opening that up too, because that could double the amount of people you have if you've got some guests there, which is super cool. And okay, so I think too, like reaching out, like the next, keep staying in touch. So say you have your host book something like 2 weeks out. So right away, get that date in the calendar, get them an invite. And I'll post one to this. I'll post the recording, and then I'll post an image of an invite that I like to do. So one of the things I like to do, Arbonne has such great photos that I like to just take one of their stock images and then put it into any app where you can put text over it. And something I'll do before that is put it into like Photify, or put it into like an editing something, so you can alter the background a little bit, so you can make it like blurry, or you can make it like darker so that white text shows up. But then it's just really pretty to like just write over and then I know there's red stamp ones too, but I'll post one that I've been using in some verbiage. And but getting that to them, sending it out, but really encouraging them to maybe make contact first before doing a mass text or email out, to kind of individually invite, and then send them a thank you card. So send your host a thank you card just for booking a date. Like, thank you so much. I'm really looking forward to this. Here's what you can expect. Whether that's, I'll be bringing you, I'm so excited that you'll get to, sample our RE9 for a few days before the event. So, and I'd love for you to share a few words about it. At the beginning of your event, and then get out invitations or invite people as soon as possible, and then please feel free to reach out with any questions you have or any concerns you have, and like just the longevity of the event, and then that you're going to be you'll touch base again a day or two before the event just to get a head count, and then also if she's feeling or he's feeling a little bit like, oh my gosh, I only have 2 people, or I only have whatever, like really helping them, just kind of then asking like, hey, did you, ask that, have you encouraged the people who are coming, see if they can bring a guest? And so, just kind of getting them a little bit more excited about it. So guest event encouraging okay, at the event. Okay, so ask the host to share. I mean, I think that there's so many times that the host, even after they have shared, if the guests haven't been listening or whatever, they're like, well, Susie, what do you like? What do you use? I mean, they're really going to go to what the host is using. So having the host, experience things and kind of prepping them like, hey, your guests are going to want to know what you love. Would you mind if I, just ask you quickly to just share something that you've been doing and something you love, whether it's about the products of the company or whatever, just share a nugget about Arbonne. And it's a great time to to then gift the host right away. And so this is something that, and this isn't necessary, but it's just something I know that when I was, like if you're going for a promotion or something, or, if it's something like you really wanted to fill your calendar. It might be like, hey, I know that you really love the Shea Butter lip balm or the Shea Butter hand cream. I'll gift that to you at your event when you book, or, if you book something. And so that would be a great time right then. Like, thank you so much, Susie, for hosting. It's such a great opportunity for us to get this information out to you. And we just really appreciate our hosts. So I've got this lovely Shea Butter for you, in addition to your amazing host rewards that you're going to receive. So, so that folks can see like, oh, that was cool. She just got a Shea Butter for, having us over. And then instruct the guests what to do next, so, and there's a really great, I'll post that too, if that's okay with Jamie. Just post the, not Christy Dreiling, Val Edwards, and nod your head, you guys, if you've listened to that and it's been helpful. Yeah. Okay. She is a powerhouse in terms of events. Like, has such good, like, little nuggets of things that she does that, whether it's inviting verbiage or whether it's at the event or just like, she's great with it. So I'll post that too, but it's just really, how to fill how to reach out to existing PCs, and just creative ways to do that. And then also she's just really good about just maximizing group events. So instructing your guests what to do next. And so this would be like at the close, so kind of scope out the area and, see that you have like an area to be at to invite the guests over to when they're ready. And then something that, and so like letting them know, like, so here's how it goes, or here's what we're going to do next. So this is what happens next is I'm going to hand out some catalogs, and I'm going to hand you, you're going to have an order form in there. You're going to have, this is the preferred client sheet that has the different ASVPs on it that we went through. And you can put, this is the skincare one, this is the nutrition one we talked about. And I'm going to give you for the next 15 minutes. How about, you look through those catalogs and write down the things that you want to get started with. And I'm really good at, she said, I'm really good at Arbanopoly, which means, if you've got a certain budget in mind, we can totally take a look at that. So you can be walking out of here with the best value. But just letting them know. And so this is what I'm going to be right over here. The next 15 minutes or so, look through the catalog, write down the things that you're wanting to purchase tonight, meet me over here. And the first two people who come over to me with ready to go, I've got a little gift for you. And again, that can be the same, like, couple samples, and people loved it. Like the Gillette and the mascara, and just like, pick two of these and you're on your way. And so something to incent them to get, because once one person like starts heading over, it's like, oh, that's what I'm supposed to do. And they get rolling. And so, so to do something like that, I think it's just those little things can be really helpful to kind of like herd cats. Okay. Next. Some people used to ask them, and that's a really great place too. Like if you, of course you've talked about like the 3 ways to win. Most people find themselves in one of 3 spots at something like this. But they might not want to say it. If it's a room full of people, it might be like, yeah, I've thought about doing this business, or yeah, you know what, I'm totally going to book something. But when you're sitting down with them, it's a really great time to, and really ask everyone, have you ever thought of doing this business? It's the best question ever. And you just never know what you're going to get. And it can just lead to all kinds of things. So asking that question, because why wouldn't you? They're sitting right there. You don't have to call them and wait for them to call you back. They're sitting right in front of you. Ask them, have you ever thought of doing this? And then you can kind of, handle it like, I kind of have, or gosh, I really don't think I could. And you can, just kind of talk more about talking through that. And it's a great place to like, well, hey, let's grab coffee sometime. And, what are you doing on Thursday? We've got a DA. Why don't you come and swing over and check it out? It's also a great time to ask about hosting, especially if they're like, I really would love to do the whole ASVP, but I just, oh my gosh, did you know that, like, I know we didn't talk in depth about our host rewards, but it's really like 80% off. And it's, you could just get a few people together. I'd be happy to come over and let's get you some great rewards. So it's a really great place to kind of just individualize more. with folks. Okay. And then following up. So something I like to do too is I don't take, maybe some of you guys do have your laptop and you just like put things in right at the event. I don't do that. And if you do that, then maybe just, when you're looking at your event online, then, checking off each person and just sending them a thank you. But like sending that thank you out right away is really great. So what I like to do is just have my order forms. And then like, as I'm typing in there, putting in their order, just have like a stack of thank you cards right next to it. And then just be like writing out the thank you to them. And it's super, super generic, unless there was something that totally stood out about them, but just to make it like kind of, brainless in a sense for me, that is just, hey, Susie, thank you so much. Susie was the host. We used to else. I like to use Becky too. Hey, Becky. It was so great meeting you at Susie's event. Thank you so much for your order. I'm super excited for you to get started with Arbonne. It's people like you that have made it possible for me to be home with my family for the last 3.5 years. Thanks, Lisa. Like nothing about like, hey, let's get together or let's do an event, but just thank you. Just thinking it about that. Thank you so much. I'm super, super glad we got to meet. It's because of people like you that I've been able to XYZ, whatever. And then that's it, and get that stack out in the mail. And so it's a really great thing to do for, guests who are at the event. It's also a really great thing to do when you see orders show up, or if people call you and like, hey, I'm on a night cream, can you please, or you see it show up in your dashboard, those amazing orders that's just like, whoa, great, Elaine placed another order, that's fantastic. Shoot them a thank you. Like seriously, who doesn't love a thank you, right? So it's going to be those little things. Like everybody is vying for our client's business. Everyone is. And it's going to be, whatever provides the most value for them. And so with us, like continuing to be ahead of the game and continuing to do things that they didn't expect and go the extra mile, that is going to be worth so much to us in the long run. Not just their business, but then their word of mouth is so important. So just to really take care of those preferred clients. So a couple other ways that I like to do that is I like to do preferred client appreciations. And they're really fun to do like right after we have a product launch. So after GTC makes a lot of sense. When we get holiday, that's really fun. If you like to celebrate your anniversary with Arbonne, that's really fun too. Or just, kind of, you can do one in the summer, just for whatever, but those are fun to have. You can set it up with like a mystery hostess. And so you can like have a jar and when people place orders, but and have it, you can either do it as like a formal event where people have facials, or you can just have it be more of an open house and then, people who you get a gift. You're kind of catching my theme now. What my gifts are, for the most part, are the samples or like a lip balm or something like that. I love giving those out, but that it doesn't have to break the bank. Our samples are pretty reasonable. But if you want it to be QV, you can totally put, you can, throw a couple fizz in a bag or something like that, or some tea. So people can choose if they want to do nutrition or if they want to do personal care products. And you get some QV for that. I'd be so ready for that QV on samples. Oh man, that'd be the best. But maybe someday. We get QV on the shaker cup now. That's cool. And the QV on the bag. That's awesome too. So something else I thought, QV on the surprise and delight. That was awesome too. Anyway. So, or even one of those, you could get the surprise and delight and break that up into like 1,000 pieces. Holy smokes, those things are amazing. And it's just a really great way to, because who does that? Target doesn't, Nordstrom's doesn't. They have a sale where you have to go there and like, you don't get a glass of wine. So whatever, take that, Nordstrom. I still love you though. It's not for skincare. So, do those. They're really fun, and you'd be surprised at just what comes out of them. And then a preferred client page, if you have like more than 5 preferred clients, I would say to start having something that is like a way that you can reach out to them really efficiently, whether that's a group, an email out to them, or I love a Facebook page. It's been so fun to have that, and to just, my goal is daily. I'm getting there, but like a daily post, and it's not a giveaway every day, let's be honest. But we can do just all kinds of informational things, fun ways we've seen our products being used, like fun alternative uses for products, something, something fun like, if you had to leave the house with one, only one, personal care, whatever, what would it be? Just create like a conversation with them, like stay in a conversation with them. And then for sure be doing, giveaways. And it's a great way too, when Arbonne does send out that when they have the Jump on June, it's a great way to just really make sure your clients are making sure they know about that, and when there's just like special offers, if we have a new product coming out, or, something was highlighted in InStyle or something, it's just a great way to communicate really efficiently with our preferred clients. So I would say that, and then also, just individually reaching out to them, whenever that makes sense to do. So I think that's about it. I'm going to wrap it up. Hopefully this was helpful, and but really just that a key of like, we're going to be doing this anyway. We're going to be reaching out. We're going to be presenting. We're going to be closing. Let's make sure, or let's do the best we can to have that be really efficient in terms of how many people get in one setting, and then that we're really ensuring that we're having that passive residual coming in from folks, or nearly passive, but that taking care of those clients is so worth it in the long run. So, and that's why we do this. So, okay, thanks, gang. And I'm not sure who's doing the next training next month, but this was a blast, and I will see you all next Thursday. We just checked out the site tonight, and it'll be cozy. It's super cute though. And so get guests there, get your tickets, and I'll see you next Thursday. Okay, peace out.